Okay, this is Save with Crypto. Look, we're not having a good day, and last night was horrible as well. For those of you doing the copy trading like I was, you probably got liquidated on a load of positions. I certainly did. Positively on this computer, the balance went down from $663 to $195. That's pretty devastating. Super lucky kind of went down to almost nothing, $2.03. So I can't even do copy trading with those because they're less than $10. So that's pretty bad. Moat, the Korean guy, he actually bailed out of a long with quite a hefty loss. But at least he's still sort of in the game. He lost 64% for me, so that was quite a lot. And then I got super lucky on this other account. Now the thing here is, this one I started off a couple of days ago, and luckily it wasn't in those two longs, the Bitcoin long and the Ethereum long, which turned out terrible because they both got liquidated this morning, which is how come this account here has got like nothing in it pretty much. So at the moment he's actually in an Ethereum long, and he's about 50% down. So at the moment the balance is that, although if I was to close the trade it would be much less. So overall I'm about 40% down over the four accounts. Now, if you're only operating one account, which you can only do one account per account, if you like, then the chances are you might have got liquidated last night, and it's a real bloody shame because it was going so well. So there are some lessons to be learnt here. I think number one is this is trading, and unfortunately sometimes trading goes like this, and it's the sort of thing that will put people off trading forever. And it's why a lot of people just give up and then just decide to just go on a dollar cost average for the rest of their crypto life. If you don't know what dollar cost averaging is, it basically means that you allocate a certain amount of money, say like $100 a week or $100 a month or whatever, and then you just buy Bitcoin or whatever with that amount. And the idea being, so like today, when Bitcoin's relatively cheap, you'll get quite a bit, and when it's very expensive, you don't buy so much. And that means that your average buying price is usually quite low. Now, in a way, and I'm not glad this happened at all, but like in a way, I'm glad I've learned that lesson now, because as you know, my plan is to sell my house and then buy crypto with it, rent a house for a couple of years, and then eventually buy, hopefully, a better house. Now, my temptation would have been, I haven't got the money yet, but my temptation would have been to get the €250,000 and just go and buy Bitcoin with it. But I think what I'll do now is I think I'll keep a lot of it as euros or pounds maybe, and do dollar cost averaging to prevent anything hideous like this affecting me really badly in the future. It does turn out that people who've dollar cost averaged over the years have generally done better than people who've traded. But of course, what it means is you need to have like a regular income. So you need to have say you've got a job, then you allocate a certain amount each week or each month for buying crypto. I don't really have a regular job myself like that, so I kind of rely on a bit of the trading and stuff like that as a bit of income. And occasionally like this, things go really badly. Now, I first became aware of all this at about 5 o'clock this morning when my phone went ping, and it was a SMS from one of my ByBit accounts saying that my Ethereum USD trade was getting near liquidation point, and I needed to do something about it. It was, in fact, this one here. And it was indeed, when I looked at it, it was like something like minus 82% or something hideous like that. So I had to do something about it quickly. So what I actually did was I actually bought £2,500 worth of Bitcoin. And then what I did, I moved a third of that into this account. I put the other 2/3 somewhere else. but I moved a third of it into this account, and then I did a spot trade going from Bitcoin into Ethereum, and that worked out quite well actually. So I actually got some effectively quite cheap Ethereum, because at the moment Ethereum is cheaper than it has been for many years in the terms of its Bitcoin value. So I did that, then I added to the position here when it was quite low. So yeah, the order actually filled at about 10:45 this morning at the price of 12.43, and I really thought that was going to be the bottom for Ethereum, and it's at 12.22 now, which is not good. So currently my liquidation price on this is 11.05, which, to be honest, there is a possibility it might go down there. So at the moment I'm just hoping to God that Ethereum doesn't drop down to these kind of levels down here. If it does, I will exit a trade and take a huge loss, and then try and re-enter lower. At the moment I'm not interested in shorting the market, because I think there's got to be a bounce somewhere. I mean, but at the moment it's just, falling through the floor, isn't it? Everything is. So by the time I'd realised what was going on here and saved this account here, two of my copy trading accounts had been liquidated, and left me with not enough money for a beer. So pretty hideous morning really, and this afternoon's not looking amazing either. Now the second lesson I learned was something that we've been talking about between me and my viewers, in particular No Name Flatline, who certainly brought this to my attention. It's basically when you're got your principal trader and you set it up, the amount I was putting here in the order cost was actually the entire amount that I had. Now it seems that what happens is, if the trader decides to do multiple trades, which can be either multiple entries on the same asset, or it could be like a different trade, like you might do Bitcoin, then do Ethereum, and do Solana or something. But the idea being that overall, it'll be okay. Now the problem is, if you set this at 100% of whatever you've got, you will enter the first trade but then not be able to enter the next trade, and I think that isn't good. So what I'd say, obviously this account's knackered now because I've got bugger all money there, but if that was say like $1,000, I'd probably put like $250 in there, and then I believe what will happen is that could possibly enter up to 4 trades, each one of like $250, if you had $1,000 to play with. So that's that. I mean, I guess a lot of you are probably not interested in copy trading anymore. We've all been scared off. Also, the leverage. I mean, you could lower this to avoid getting liquidated. You wouldn't make as much money, but you wouldn't make the hideous losses like what we made yesterday. So there's that as well. And also, you now got take profit and stop loss. Stop loss is just basically means if the trade goes in the wrong direction from what you want, it closes the trade, and obviously you make a loss then. But the idea is that you can say that, okay, I'm only going to lose 5% or something like that. Now I kind of naively thought these traders know better than me, so I'll let them decide. But I found it hard to believe that Super Lucky, who had a brilliant track record, went and did that and got stuck in those 2 longs, and really probably should have bailed out early with stop loss or similar. I guess there is some incentive for these people to sort of remain in the game and not make hideous losses, to keep them on the front page of the principal traders on ByBit. But to remain in a trade when it got to like 80% down, I think that's probably a bit careless, to be honest. Anyway, so I suppose the lesson there is, don't set the order cost to your full amount. A third lesson would probably be to understand that this is trading, and trading can go quite hideous sometimes. It can go amazing, but sometimes it can go quite hideous. You get trapped in a position, you can't get out, and then you either decide to come out of the trade and take a big loss, or risk the possibility of liquidation. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people risked the possibility of liquidation last night. And the problem is, what you get is, because when you're liquidated, essentially it's like selling your Bitcoin. So that then lowers the price. So the price starts to go into free fall, and it gets like a snowball effect where it just goes down, down, down. And that's what people call a long squeeze. If it goes the other way and it pumps, that's often a thing called a short squeeze, where a similar kind of thing is happening, where people are going short and the price isn't going their way, it's actually going higher and higher. So they're getting liquidated while the price goes higher. So you just have to try and understand exactly what the whole marketing thing is about. And maybe in a way, having multiple traders probably isn't a good idea, because it's going to be hard to keep an eye on them all. But there again, if maybe they had a better kind of dashboard that you could look at multiple traders on, that would be quite good. I'm so sorry I can't bring you any good news today, really, apart from the fact that everything's cheap. And I certainly wouldn't consider selling your crypto at the moment and getting out of the market completely. What I would consider, though, is buying more. I know it sounds like the wrong thing to do, but I think that's probably something you should consider. Not financial advice, of course. But if you do have spare cash on the side, I think it's certainly worth getting something like Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin will be worth 100,000 easily in the next year or two, but not this month. Sorry to make a miserable video, but if you did like it, and you've got no reason to be honest, but if you give me a like anyway, that'd be nice. Do leave a comment. If you've got a hideous story, I'd probably like to hear it, to be honest. But in any case, do make sure you're subscribed, and you've got the notifications on all, and above all, sort of tell your friends, but don't tell them what happened last night. In fact, maybe wait a little bit. Okay. All right. See you then. This is Savewith Crypto saying thank you, goodbye, and best of luck.